welcome to Inside Eastern Utah. Today we are here with guests from the USU Eastern Learning Commons, which is a new thing on campus. We have Amy Peters and Lori Brassaw who are going to tell us what the changes are from a USU Eastern library to a USU Eastern Learning Commons.
So we're still naming it Library and Learning Commons.
LLC, that's right.
It's the LLC.
The Library and
Everybody
Learning
looks
Commons,
at us as it's a business.
So what does that mean? I mean, you guys have probably seen many changes throughout the years between the changes in technology, the merger with Utah State University. There has been a lot of changes and adjustments through the university through the years, especially with the library. So what does this LLC encompass? What does it mean for students?
Well, for the library, it's okay. I wanted to just give you some perspective. When I started here in 2003 as a reference librarian, I was showing students how to set up email. You know, that was a great part of it. And we were just barely getting electronic books, okay? And so now we're 2017, millennials, they all learn differently. And so with the help of the merger, well, the great help with the merger with Utah State University, we have access now to over 1 million electronic books in the academic realm. And also we have access to over 500,000 journals and articles, scholarly and popular, that our students, faculty, and staff can access. And we are open to the public for those things, but they need to come up to the Library and Learning Commons. And as our guests, they can sit at the computers for 2 hours and access the electronic resources at this point.
Oh, great.
So that merger just really opened so many doors for what you're able to offer now.
It exploded. It exploded what we're able to offer. And as far as the library, we do have print still, and we work closely with the library up on the Logan campus that is staffed with 28 librarians, professional, plus also administrative staff, and they're always there to assist us. And because of their volume, they have, like everything else, better buying power, okay? So we get a lot more deals. So
nice.
it's been great as we move forward, and they're always there for us as well.
That's great. And Amy, you're over the Learning Commons side of things. What does that entail?
So the Learning Commons is that, we'll go back to the Old English legal name where it means is a common place for learning and shared space rather. So we are looking at stakeholders having that equal interest into this area, this space. So we have the library, which is a great part and resource for us to access from the databases to the books, any print. So with that, we brought in the academic tutoring for sciences and math, and they're located physically there, so people come in and are able to get that kind of tutoring from, and they're always busy, our math tutors and chemistry, always too busy.
Yes.
We also brought in the Aggie Center for Enrichment. We call it the ACE, and the ACE used to be the skills lab, and it's really where we had non-credit programs, and we could get MOS certification, which is the Microsoft Office Specialist certification. So you can get those kinds of things. Students can brush up on math skills, English skills, reading. We've had people from the community come from not knowing how to read, go through that all the way to going over into the credit side. So they really, it's a great asset to this space. The other thing I want to mention is a communication commons for students and faculty. So we're bringing in demonstrations, and that will lead us into bringing into what we call the makerspace. So that's a production space for students to come and collaborate, whether they're in English, or if they're becoming a librarian, or if they're becoming an engineer, to come in and collaborate, and that's just beginning. So we're really looking forward to seeing that bloom. Other things, we have a reflection room. So that there is for our students and staff to have structured or unstructured meditation, prayer, and reflection, and it's a room for them to just have a nice quiet place to relax and collect their thoughts. So
That's great. If you
is
live
great.
on campus, say in a dorm, it might be tough to find some quiet time, and that's
true.
certainly needed after
absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
stresses of university life. So
Right.
certainly a lot of things coming and changing. Take us a bit through the electronic side. What are you guys seeing there? What improvements have been made?
Lori.
Oh, well, a great deal. The campus administration has been very generous this year. We have 16 new computers, 4 of them are Macs, and the PCs are touchscreen as well, and they are loaded with several programs. I was out there Friday trying to learn them all, and it's like, wow, we have this, you know. And the furniture that we have now is really modern. It's wonderful. So, for instance, the tables will raise if you want to stand and work at the computer, and you can adjust the lighting at each station. And so
Nice.
we do have 3 computers upstairs. That's where we have the print collection now. So on the first floor is mainly it is the electronic
Hub.
hub. Yes, and we do have a lot of talking going on down there, and people can bring in food and drink, and it's kind of a normal level talking. And the one great feature, the building itself is beautiful, and for those of you who have been in it, the north wall on the first floor is all window, and so we have a counter with stools along it, so students can look out on the north part of the campus, right into the nice light and sunshine.
That's really nice because the furniture will go the entire length of that window, and they sit up their little bar stool, and they can plug in. So many students have, like you have, Scotty, here, the laptop, the iPad, and it's draining, right? It needs electricity. They're plugging in, so that's what we mean. They can just scoot up to that, and it's
quite
really
popular.
neat. It's neat to see all the students utilize that.
It's unique too. You mentioned being able to bring food in. That's unique in a library setting, isn't it?
Yes, and also it's unique that you can talk at your regular voice.
Yes.
That's
So
on
is
the
that
first
only,
floor.
only the first floor?
That's the first floor.
Second floor, it's regular library rules,
Quiet.
right?
Yes, it's really quiet. So I'd like to mention too, I said we have all our print collection upstairs, but on the main floor we also have a special collections room where we have materials that are unique to this area of the state. So we have many items from the J. Bracken Lee family that they donated to the university, and they're professionally archived. And then we also have local authors, and then several other books that talk about the history of the Castle Country.
And speaking of history, I know something that has been important through these changes is the architecture of the building.
Yes.
It's been very important while you guys are advancing to maintain the history that is there. Can you speak to that?
Lori, you speak to.
Well, I know they'd be only
The
because I've been
architect.
here so long. The architect of Utah State University, the head architect, Thomas Graham, he said, no, nobody's touching the building outside. It's done in the brutalism style of art, architecture, which is really unique. A lot of people don't like that, but a lot of people do. But nevertheless, it's an important part of our history in architecture. And it's very unique and rare that we would have this in rural Utah, such a beautiful building like this. It was built in 1968. And so we've maintained the integrity of the look of brutalism throughout, while still making adjustments for the Learning Center and for student use appropriately. So, you know, adding tons of new electronic outlets, that didn't impact the integrity of the building. But it is a gem. To come to see that the building itself is wonderful.
Certainly. Can you speak to the importance of this library and learning commons to student retention and to bringing students here? I'm sure when administration was going through this thought process, they really had to keep in mind what do students want and what are going to bring students here. Can you speak to that at all?
So going back to having that common place for people to meet, and this particular building is really the center of the campus, physically.
Yeah.
And so having that, I think it draws people across and paths, knowing that they can stop there. And it's so important for us to keep our retention up here and students' interest here. So that's a big part of moving this forward, is having that common area for us to come and research, to come and talk to each other and collaborate. I think that brings the students in, and if they're able to talk at a normal voice, they feel more comfortable too, because you'll see them just plop down in the chair, or they'll have their laptop with them, and they'll have their buddy come up alongside them and sit there and talk with each other, and know that they are studying, but then they can loosen up a little bit too. So this goes along with that relaxation. A common center for them helps them stay with us, and that's the important part, is we keep students here, they go through school, and at the university here, it makes a great place.
Great, and you did mention the community. This is obviously a great place for students, but it's a great place for the community as well.
Absolutely.
And people can get a library card, $25, is that what you said?
Yes, $25 per individual adult, okay? If you want to have children, then you can attach it to one of the adults' cards as permission. However, we don't have a great selection of children's books, okay? And for that reason, what we've done is we have a partnership with the Price City Library. The library director, Norma, has been wonderful to work with us. So our students can come down and they can check out books on the Price City Library and utilize them. We started that actually for the children's literature, because they had so many children's literature books. But we found that our students also want other types of reading material that we don't traditionally buy for the library, an academic library, that is, okay? So.
And people can take advantage of the library and Learning Commons 7 days a week, is that right?
That's correct.
That's correct.
So we have Monday through Thursday, we're open from 8 to 10 p.m. And then on Friday, we have special hours from 8 to 5. And on Saturday, so we're on 12 to 5 rather. And then on Sunday, we're open from 2 to 10. So that way we get the students coming in. We know many of them probably don't stick around on Friday, so it helps them.
That was good. I was really testing your memory on that. That's a lot of hours to memorize. And I like that you guys are open some late nights, because I know there's a lot of late night study sessions that certainly go on.
So we're also inviting them as we bloom into this makerspace idea. We're having these demonstrations, like actually today we're having one that will focus on virtual reality. And so I will continue to promote those. Yes.
Are you ready, Lori?
Oh my goodness.
And tomorrow too.
Yeah, tomorrow. That's what I was saying. So much is going on. I can't
I
get
know.
No, really, it is. It
Lots
is.
of changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of way fun, cool stuff.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So this is for students and staff, and to help the community also come into it. So I'm promoting that to the chambers as well. So that way they have the opportunity to come in and see what kind of technology is going on.
And we do have a Facebook page that announces the
Absolutely.
correct hours. But also, in the event we do close for the holidays or something, those
be
hours
posted.
Can
will be
stay up
posted.
to date on it
Yes,
there.
definitely.
Well, it sounds like there's some fantastic things going on. If you haven't had a chance to go down and look at all the changes, be sure to make your way
Check it
in. They're
out.
open 7 days a week. Lots of new stuff, not just for students, but for the community as a whole. So,
And I just want to just say our staff is just wonderful.
Absolutely.
We have the library staff, the traditional, and then the Learning Commons staff, and we're all there to help you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's really an honor to lead the group, because I know it's been such a change for moving and moving the team through, and so I'm really honored to be in part of this here.
And I will tell you,
The staff and everybody's joining together, so it's really exciting.
I'll just give you a little tidbit. 3 of us in the library staff, we've been together, we have 65 years experience.
Wow,
Wow.
together.
Well, if you add up all our
Yeah,
years, okay, well, and so, yes, we're familiar with the building.
just a bit. Well, we certainly appreciate, and I'm sure the students and the community does as well, the efforts you guys have put in to
Absolutely.
make this such a great hub for the community.
Right.
And thank you for joining us and giving us a taste of what is coming.
So an open mind for open design, that's what our philosophy is.
Yes, it is a great
Love it.
open space
Yes.
now. It is just, you guys have just
Thanks.
cleaned it up in there and spruced it up. It looks fabulous. So
Thanks
if you
for having
haven't
us.
been,
Yes,
be sure to
appreciate it.
stop by, chat with these ladies. They'll give you a tour, I'm sure.